Welcome to Meet Houston Missions and the Simmons and Fletcher Local Missions Podcast. Today I have a special guest, Jiya Joshi, a student over at the University of Houston, who is going to share with us a mission that she's brought about called Young and Old United. We're very excited to have her. Nothing more exciting than seeing the young generations starting their own missions and starting to make a difference in the world as they're going through and getting their education. So without further ado, I'm very excited to talk to Jiya here. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about Young and Old United?
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much for having me on, by the way. I really
You're welcome.
appreciate it. It's really great talking to you. So, Young and Old United, we're a group of students. We're really passionate and we really just try to bridge that generational gap. All we're trying to do is making sure that we're making our seniors confident and that they feel loved and that their stories are heard every single day.
Wow. And so, how does your organization help seniors out?
So we typically do it in three main ways. Our main purpose is just to connect youth in Houston as well as all throughout Texas to specific seniors at senior homes. So we actually have a network of senior homes that we partner with, we work with. We have different groups visiting them every single month. And whenever a new youth joins our organization, we actually partner them with a senior at different homes based on like personality type or different quizzes that we do actually. So that way we can make sure that our seniors are getting like that one-on-one connection with a youth with their undivided attention.
Wow, it sounds like an interesting way to connect people with seniors who really probably need that extra touch and reach and want to hear that there's actually somebody out there that cares about them. So you said you're now Texas wide. How long have you guys been operating and how quick did you grow to that size of a company?
Well, yeah. So we started out like around 2 years ago. At the beginning, we were obviously like just like Houston based locally. And throughout, like we really just partnered with like different organizations. Like there was the Fort Bend Senior Meals on Wheels, for instance. They were super amazing and they were just really, really collaborative with us. And they really like listened to our ideas. They were really like amazing with just like making sure that all of the youth felt comfortable with reaching out and working with the seniors. And a lot of the seniors really appreciated us coming in. Like I remember when we came in, they were like, "Well, wow, like we've never seen a youth come in here before." And so they were just really excited to have like just talk to someone that was less their age. And at the same time, like eventually because of all of this like growing amount of like attention that we were getting, we actually got a lot of DMs on Instagram from like a ton of other students throughout Texas saying that they wanted to start their own version of it at their like local cities. And so we were able to get so many different students starting their own version of their initiatives like at their local setting.
Wow. So tell us a little bit about you. What's your background? Where are you going to school and what are you studying?
Yeah, so I go to actually F Austin High School, and at this high school, I'm a junior currently, and I go to the University of Houston sometimes to work on projects, which is why that email was there. So currently, like we work with our entire volunteer base is made up of college students all the way to middle schoolers, really.
Wow, that is so awesome to see young kids getting
Mhm.
involved and just taking the initiative and doing something like this. What is it that motivated you in order to get involved and create something like this?
So I would say my main inspiration was definitely like my own grandma. Like my grandma, like in like my community especially, like typically like our parent or like grandparents stay at home with us. So my grandma was there like throughout my like younger years and she was there like picking me up from school. She was there making me snacks. She was there telling me stories. And so she wasn't just my grandma anymore. She was my friend. Like we developed this like very real friendship. And like I remember her telling me stories about like, oh, my her four sisters or how she like learned a new language and how everything was like amazing for her. And it was just really inspiring to hear something like that from someone I really looked up to because she was just like so energetic, so bright. And I truly like could not have asked for a better grandma. And so, of course, when she passed away, it was definitely really tough on our family. We didn't have that support anymore because I didn't have a caretaker. And so eventually I really just wanted to refine that connection. And so I actually reached out to senior homes in that like summer and I reached out, we volunteered and I just fell in love with the stories that the seniors told me. And I just couldn't like help, but I was like, hey, like, let me see if I can make other high schoolers get just as excited as I am about this initiative. And apparently there were so many people that just felt the exact same way as I did. And I feel so thankful for that.
Wow, that's awesome. So obviously you do a bit of recruiting of other students to get involved and do that sort of stuff. If a student is interested in doing something like this, how do they find out about, or how do they learn about the opportunities that you have and the ways they can get involved?
Well, typically a lot of our recruiting has been done through word of mouth and social media especially. But typically if like any youth is like interested, we have our website, and on our website underneath like the about like how to get involved section, there's typically like a form that they fill out. We have two main programs. We have like a general volunteer form because we typically go to senior homes every single month, and there is a commitment that our volunteers do need to make sure that these seniors, that these like youth or seniors are getting as much attention as they can as possible. And we also have like a youth ambassador program, which is for those volunteers that really, really are passionate about this and want to start their own version of the initiative. And so that requires a lot more of a greater undertaking, but it's definitely for those that are like more passionate, more driven, and can really just take on a challenge. And we're there every single step of the way, like guiding them on how they can be involved as well.
Okay. So what is the
Mhm.
website that they go to learn about this?
www.youngandoldunited.org.
Okay. And so when people go, let's say I want to be a volunteer.
Hmm.
Let's say I was a lot younger than I am now and wanted to be a volunteer student with the organization.
Yes.
And I called you up and said, "Hey, I want to learn. I want to be a basic level volunteer." You indicated there's a certain level of commitment that's involved. What is that commitment
Hmm.
you're looking for?
So we have different activities going on every month. They can range from going to meet a senior every single month in person, or we also have this other project that we do, which is called which is like cheer packages. So in the cheer packages, we pack like high daily essentials called hygiene kits. And in those hygiene kits, we actually put all the daily essentials that seniors need to feel confident. And that type of event is a one-time thing for our volunteers. So that typically happens every 3 months because we give these supplies to seniors quarterly. But our main program, which is really bridging that gap between generations, that one requires like a monthly commitment.
Okay. And so when they make that
Mhm.
commitment, are they typically going to see the same senior over and over again, or do they go to see different seniors, or how does that work?
So typically they are paired up with one senior home, and within that they can meet up to at least one senior to three seniors, depending on however many seniors that they feel comfortable with like helping and how much that they actually connect with them. It's because we want to make sure that every single senior gets like a high school student that like is dedicated to like talking with them, and that they can build a strong connection over time.
Okay. And you
Mhm.
indicated that part of what y'all do also is you take these cheer packages and hygiene kits out there.
Mhm.
So I'm guessing there's probably fundraising opportunities out there in order to raise the funds to get these supplies. How do y'all go about doing that?
So let me tell you, like fundraising is hard, especially as youth, but we definitely do try our best for sure. So the way we started off fundraising was we actually used to do door-to-door sales, and I think the door-to-door sales we it was really a lot of the time was actually spent just towards fundraising the money. That's why it was really hard actually trying to like do regular like hygiene kits, but eventually we found a system that worked for us. So
Okay.
typically we do like every 3 months we do like a really big door-to-door fundraiser. We all come together, all of our youth volunteers will in Houston, and we all do a big baking session, and we all just like make a ton of food of different we do like tiramisu, brownies, cookies are really popular. And we go around and we're just going door to door different neighborhoods, and we're able to fundraise a lot because a lot of our neighbors know about this, a lot of the community members know about this, but it's really amazing. And I know like sometimes I knock on doors and I just randomly find a teacher there and we're just like, it's pretty funny. But we also do apply to grants as well. So the grants help as well.
Wow. Okay. If somebody wants to get involved in this and get involved, is there like a minimum time commitment? In other words, 3 months, 6 months, something like that you have them commit to see a senior, or how does that work?
So usually we do 4 month ranges. We do it by like quarterly sessions. So typically we have every once the volunteer signs up and we see like where they're closest to with the senior home that we're partnered with, we actually just like ask the main or the staff at the senior home, and we say like, hey, are there any seniors out there that like you can tell like they're just feeling a little isolated, that they need that extra help? And then we pair that senior with a student volunteer. And that goes on for like every bi-weekly sessions for 4 months.
Okay. I assume if people want to get involved and just make financial donations in order to help raise money for the other stuff, there are ways to do that on the website as well.
Yes, definitely. We have all like on our donate page, like there's so many ways to donate. So we really appreciate any support we can get from the community, of course.
Awesome. Tell us a little bit about your goals with this organization. I know it's already grown to cover the state of Texas, it sounds like. Where are you going with this?
Well, another thing was, well, I actually reached out to Second Wind Dreams. They're another senior nonprofit. They're an international nonprofit. And Second Wind, what they do is actually amazing as well. And it really just aligned with with what we do. And Second Wind, they actually make dreams come true for seniors. And they actually really wanted to have a youth bridging program as well. And so we were able to fill in that gap. And so we partnered with them and we're actually building an ambassador team to cover all of the United States.
Oh
It's called
wow.
the Teen Dreamers Board.
That is awesome. That is really
Yeah.
cool. Well, this has really grown into something big for you.
Yes, definitely.
It sounds like you've had your hands full with it.
Yeah, definitely. It's taken a lot of nurturing, a lot of love, but I do really love doing what I do, and I really couldn't have asked for anything else.
Any idea how many volunteers you've got going on at any given moment nationwide?
Well, I would say at the moment right now, with all of our chapters combined, we have approximately 400 volunteers
That is
across the
awesome.
United States. Yeah.
Did you ever envision it was going to even grow to this point?
Let me tell you, I never thought it would grow to this point. I was just expecting it to be a small little youth group, in my local community. I never expected it to really get all this attention, or I didn't expect it to grow to this scale at all. We were absolutely one senior home, a couple of friends that were as passionate as me about this. And I couldn't believe it whenever we actually started getting DMs and actually organizations reaching out to us saying, hey, can we donate some items for your pamper or for the cheer packages that you guys give out? So we were actually getting companies to reach out and say, hey, we have extra free supplies. Can you put them in?
That's awesome. That is just awesome. Well, thank
Yeah.
you so much for taking time to share with us about this. Before I let you go, is there anything else about the organization or your plans or needs or anything like that that we haven't gone over that you'd like to share?
Well, we're always looking for youth, anywhere from middle schoolers to college students. We're here for you on our website. We always have the Youth Ambassador program. I know it's kind of seems scary to take that leap and to try to challenge yourself to start something on your own. But I promise you, if you're social, if you just want to get some more volunteer hours, and if you feel like you want to connect with seniors in any way, shape, or form, then we're definitely the place for youth to be.
That is awesome. So, with this being a primarily youth-driven organization, it sounds like
Mhm.
it's an organization that's going to have turnover every 4 years or so. Do you envision yourself still being involved in leadership after you've graduated and gotten out of the high school years?
Yes, definitely. Of course, this organization's here to stay. I can see myself doing this for the next 20 years if I have to.
That is awesome. That is absolutely awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking time to share and talk about the organization. It sounds like a great organization you got going. It's amazing what can happen when you just put your mind to something like this and have a passion for it. It just can kind of start fires and you can see it grow like wildfire when other people's passions are ignited. So thank you for doing what you're doing and for coming up with this idea.
No, thank you so much for having me on this podcast. I really appreciate it.
You're very welcome. That's Paul Cannon with the Meet Houston Missions and the Simmons and Fletcher Local Missions Podcast. Again, we've been talking to Jiya Joshi about Young and Old United. If you would like to learn more about Young and Old United, please visit the website. Please look into the opportunities to either volunteer or give, just help out and make seniors in this country feel appreciated. Thank you very much.